fit state to talk. The Irish Sea kicked our woolly white asses last night. So about midnight to about 4 or 5 in the morning, we had sustained 25 to 30 knots. In the end, it was more like 30 knots. So we were in probably about 2 to 3 meters of wind-driven wave on the beam, and yeah, that was a bit of an early education. We survived, just about. It certainly gave us a tremendous dose of reality. We thought we had a really great passage planned out, and then that cropped up. But we're back to nice weather. Shame we're motoring, but it's kind of have everything. You either have all the wind or none of the wind. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what I thought was an island. I think that's actually a ship. It's amazing how distances and scale just get warped this far offshore. I think we're about basically sort of roughly in the middle of Cardigan Bay. Well, on the line between sort of Welsh Welland Peninsula and Milford Haven Peninsula. We're sort of a little bit outboard of that line, pretty much in the middle, so we're more or less, the nearest land is 20, 25, 30 miles away. And we do kind of feel a little bit vulnerably isolated.
As we sailed farther south, the weather began to improve. The winds eased and the sea became calmer. We were able to relax a little bit, rest and enjoy the beauty of the open sea and the peacefulness of life on passage. The sunsets were breathtaking, and we were treated to endless sightings of dolphins and whales along the way.
The ragdoll did well. She did. Proved herself. She was stronger than both of us put together. And when you're helming in that kind of conditions, you just try and let the boat find its own way. So keep your helm inputs down. Don't make big corrections. Try and wait for the try and make a correction before the rudder loads up. So we're just doing everything we could to just nurse the boat through and make sure we didn't stress it out and stress the gear. Because the last thing we needed at that point was anything breaking, like a rudder cable or, heaven forbid, something like that. So yeah, we just carried on, and then it got a bit lighter and a bit lighter still, and then it became this. So through the day we've just been trying to recover our senses and become human again.
It's been strange. I mean, it was only about three and a half hours that were actually kind of full on, and then it just started to ease back off. But those 3.5 hours certainly felt a lot longer, and I think we were looking at the weather and counting down the minutes to when it looked like it was going to start disappearing, and thankfully it did. So we were a bit disappointed that we were off. There was essentially 5 more knots of wind than we anticipated, but the 5 knots made a huge difference to how the sea state ended up looking and what the boat was acting like. So
we were quartering waves that were getting on for 2.5, 3 meters, and we were having to just anticipate it and make sure we were steering downwind when the big one came through, and every now and again we missed one and we got a big roll. Stuff goes flying. Daria says, and I didn't see it, but
in the middle of Chris going, oh shit, our solar arch, there's just the last 20 centimeters of the panel dunked in a wave and then came back up.
I struggle to believe it myself. Daria says she was looking at it when it happened.
To be honest, I think it wasn't the fact that it was in the water. I think it was just it went into the wave as we were kind of rolling off of it. So it's not like we were, you know, kind of on our side. It's just the waves were big. I mean, you can see it because you can see that it's been dumped. You can see all the salty stains on it this morning. So it was a rough ride. I look like death. So it's, I think, coming up to 11 o'clock at night now. The sun has set a couple of hours ago. Chris had gone to get some sleep, so I've just been watching away, making sure we don't die. We have been motor sailing, like we said earlier, from about 9 a.m. and I think that's about to come to an end. I think we're finally getting some beam beach winds. It's at 7, 8 and kind of gusting 10, 11, so I think we're finally going to actually get some sailing in tonight, which would be nice. We hoped to run the motor as little as possible, but we have motored now for 12 hours, which is really less than ideal. So we'll see how it is when Chris wakes up in the next half an hour, and see if we can maybe get some sails up. We have got our main up because we're motor sailing. But I think we've got hopefully enough wind now that if we gently turn, we'll be able to get the Jenny up as well. God, it's been a long day. It's been a long night from last night, and I feel like I really need to get some sleep now. I am absolutely exhausted. Welcome to day 3 of our Scotland to Cornwall crossing. We had a very easygoing night. We're motor sailing pretty much majority of the way there. However, the wind picked up this morning around 7 a.m. and we now have a steady sort of 8 to 10 knots. So we're slowly breezing down the Bristol Channel. We're doing around 4.5 to 5.5 knots, kind of going up and down. We've got quite a bit of waves, but they're kind of nice and slow and content, so it's quite relaxing. It's really nice and calm. The wind's pushing us a little bit out, so I think we're probably gonna have to adjust our sails soon. But at least there's wind and we're not motor sailing, so that's good. Chris is sleeping away at the moment because I had a good 3-4 hours of sleep last night. So he's just catching up now. As we had some dolphins this morning, we had some whales join us this morning. It's been beautiful. It's been really good. Chris is not feeling very well. We're on the last stretch and he's low-key dying. You okay?
No.
This crossing was a rewarding journey, but not one without its challenges. On the first night we encountered the wrath of the Irish Sea, and there were times when we had to battle against the wind and wave to keep the boat on course. The wind was strong and the waves were high, but we're determined to make it, driven by our sense of adventure and the desire to explore. As we approached Penzance after 3.5 days at sea, the sense of accomplishment we felt was immense, knowing that we had successfully navigated all the way down to Cornwall. The journey to get to this point, to this passage, had been long and difficult, but it was also filled with moments of beauty and wonder and fear, as well as uncertainty, joy and exhilaration. And in the end, we knew that we had grown as sailors and as individuals, ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Seriously, day 4.
Here's day 4. And we are coming round to Penzance. We had such a long drag of a night, battling upwind through the Bristol Channel, but we're almost there. We've arrived at the harbour in Penzance. It's now high water, so they let us just about in. We are rafted up with 2 other boats, so it's been a bit of a tricky one to try and get the dogs off boat. And we're now gonna go for a little walk around Penzance, get some takeaways and some well-deserved ice cream.
And so our adventure continued in the charming coastal town of Penzance, where we find ourselves eagerly awaiting a weather window to embark on our daring journey across the Bay of Biscay. Nestled on the southwestern tip of England, Penzance is a place where time seems to slow down, allowing us to soak in the beauty of its rugged coastline and vibrant maritime culture. Meanwhile, we take advantage of the unexpected pause to explore the wonders of Penzance, from its picturesque streets, lined with charming shops and cafes, to its breathtaking coastal walks. This town captivates us with its undeniable charm.
I'll replace my other hat with this hat for now. That's right.
As Mother Nature held the key to our departure, we patiently watched the weather charts and forecasts as we analysed and searched for that elusive window of opportunity. When that moment finally arrives, we will set sail, ready to face the challenges and embrace the exhilaration that awaits us in the vast expanse of the Bay of Biscay. But until then, stay tuned for the next chapter of our epic voyage. Bon voyage!